you clearly bring out the entire picture, and indeed it's the legal cast, like the title we gave to the space, the legal cast. And Counsel Isaac Ssemakadde is doing this on the state of our affairs as a country. But I want to thank everybody that is on the space, and Principal D, Uncle Ba, Ochen, Godwin, Namara. I have seen Ocho, Dennis, Olu, Daniel.
Why isn't Principal D joining us? Principal D has been quite active.
Yeah, he has been quite active, but
in the current sort of affairs.
Today he just decided to take a back seat, I think, and listen and drink from the cup of the legal dawn here. But here is Semogere Michael, one of the people that asked for the microphone when I gave chance to the audience to take the mic. I would like Semogere, yes. Now the floor is open. Could you can make your submission in about 2 minutes.
You've been thank you. Thank you, Mr. Katongole. But I can't lie, I don't have much, but just maybe to appreciate Counsel Isaac. He has really given us a good approach, because there are things we are analyzing and there are things we are organizing, but he mentioned good points only, and it has developed us, because most of the people here are just upcoming lawyers. Their students will share the links, these recordings, but they review these, and if we get people like the senior Counsel Isaac, the people we are looking at, it shows that he really gives it all to the people. So thank you, Counsel Isaac. I just appreciate you for whatever you do. I know God will just take you higher. And I also thank you, Mr. Katonga, and whoever attended this space. It has been wonderful. Thank you so much for the chance and the microphone.
You're welcome, Mr. Semogere there. Of course, several of the last episodes of when I hosted Counsel Ssemakadde last month of the Judiciary Unplugged, they are on our YouTube channel, the Insights Express series. You can visit the YouTube channel. We created an archive of those episodes of that entire space, divided into 5 parts, and you go through and listen to that episode. The same, we shall upload the legal cast after here, but also keep the space. So don't hesitate if you want to pick it up and go through the conversations. This is why these 2 last episodes, April and May, I call them conversations from the future, because I mean, these are points that you take if you were to sit and read. These are years of content, years of experience, reading, knowledge, and practice that we are that he's sharing right now, and that we are taking in. So that's why I even give our spaces with Senior Counsel Isaac Ssemakadde some good time, and this is why the Insights decided to do one-on-one episodes, so that we get the real gist of the points or the topics that we put up on the lineup. And we can't thank you, audience, for attending these spaces again and again. My last question tonight, Counsel Isaac Ssemakadde, you've clearly brought out the legal cast onto the state of our affairs, and I'm wondering 2 things while we've discussed all this. If Isaac Ssemakadde, the Ugandan citizen, then Isaac Ssemakadde, the president of the Uganda Law Society, or a senior advocate, if you got chance to meet the president, who, of course, the president of the country, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and what would you what would you tell him? That's one. Two, if Uganda changed government today, probably to any next leader after President Yoweri Museveni, if with this current status quo, what would be the challenges that we would face as a country, regardless of who takes power after? Council Ssemakadde, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Take it over.
Well, starting with the first one, there would be nothing to tell the president. Quite simply, that he would be aware, first of all, of what I stand for, what I care for, and he would also be aware that I know what he stands for and what he cares for, and those things, those ideological pursuits are in consonant. So it would be a conversation that's just diplomatic about his health, my health, the weather, his family, my family. And I guess if it were to get serious, it would be on, let me put it this way. President Museveni has lived a life that has exposed him extensively to various shades of opinion. So he's actually he's a good host, I could imagine. Okay? He is, in person, he would be a perfect gentleman because he has been hosting colleagues, enemies, adversaries, he, that's what his life has been. So that's why when some people, they meet him, they are very charmed, I would imagine, by, say, concessions he could make. So he can make all sorts of concessions that can please you and put you at ease. And if you're in pursuit of specific things short of a collective vision for a constitutional republic that is fundamentally different from his, you would have a lot of things to talk about with him, I would imagine. Well, as for me, if I met him, I think he would speak much more in justifying his vision for a dynasty and family rule is effective. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. I don't even think you would talk about. Yeah. Are you with me?
yes,
Yeah.
I'm with you. Can't continue.
Yeah, but that's if you even finds me a worthwhile person to interact with in terms of governance issues. I would think he would talk more about my parents because he knows them. He's supposed to know them. He has been around for a long time. There's nothing he doesn't know about anyone and all of us. But like I said, for me, my current focus, my focus would be on institutional concerns. I wrote to him, for instance. He never replied. He never gave me a meeting. So, but I wrote a letter. I think it was published. You heard about it. Saying, well, we want to, in the capacity of the Law Society. So there are some issues for the Law Society. We say, well, for us, we want to arrange the bar. And I wanted to explain to him what an independent bar is. And of course, he would debate whether or not, and I was ready for those debates. Of course, I am prepared to make the case that, look, on the politics, we shall agree to disagree, so we leave it out. So you are the president, you want to be president for life. Nonetheless, it shouldn't harm the bar. Are you with me, Mr. Katongole?
I'm with you.
Yes. So if I met him now, I would be speaking as the president of the Ghanaian Society. So I would make the case for the interests of the bar, and the interests of the bar theory, an independent bar, an independent judiciary, and rescuing the rule of law through independent institutions.
Wow.
Those are the things I would make the case for. So when I'm not seeing you in the capacity of a politician. I'm not seeing you in the capacity of a threat. I'm here to make the case that with the laws governing the legal profession, they can benefit from reforms that are, I can call it politically neutral. From reforms that everybody benefits from. Even a dictator. A dictator who wants to achieve what does it call it? Who wants to tenfold growth?
Yeah.
Yes. Because you have all these young people that are unemployed and they're in law and everything. Yeah. So I would really speak within his what do you call it? His political framework. I would represent the Ghana Society within his political framework. An independent judiciary. I mean, I think he himself, he has spoken, he has written extensively. I have read everything. He himself is not impressed with the judiciary. So those are points of agreement. The problem is that there are reforms and plans that have been sold to him who would sell him different ones. Are you getting me?
I hear you.
Yeah, on improving judiciary, on restructuring. We would even tell him things that we shall do. That for the current, because now we have a mess. For instance, I don't see Museveni taking the judges away. But I will be telling him that, you see, all this, with the day you die or get out of power, you will go with your judges. And I will cite for him the case of Otema. I will read for him a page in his own book, Mustard Seed. I said, you see, even you wrote and said the day I get power, the first thing I will do is to remove Obote's judges, especially Judge Otema. So I will tell him all your judges are Otema. And I don't think that's the legacy you want. But to remove to if you still care, but he knows he just hasn't got the chance to hear it. But we are fed up. We are really fed up. The entire judiciary has a reckoning to face. It's a question of when, and largely because of Museveni and Musevenism and his overstay. So, I mean, it has reduced the kind of freedom and thought and action that they are capable of. Whether he has been part of the process, whether it was him, but I mean, we have some of his servants that we know that have been participating in independence of the judiciary. Me personally, I don't have evidence. Oh, I will discuss with him some passages of Kanyihamba, but that's history. Yeah, I mean, Kanyihamba has told us quite clearly that Museveni was calling them during the election petition. I don't know whether it's, but he doesn't say Museveni himself. He was using his agents. So this whole nonsense, we'll discuss it anyway. We'll discuss these issues. He would deny, but we would have to bring that. And then the whole aspect of independent institutions and unworkable institutions. These institutions, like I said, they have become jobs. They created them. He knows this issue. He knows this very well. So on that, wouldn't waste so much time. These institutions, they're now jobs, police. You saw his last letter where he's talking about Musanyufu. Musanyufu. What? So you brought soldiers. You brought Musanyufu to fight, to deal with corruption. Said this will never be corrupt. Now you're saying Musanyufu is corrupt. They have reported. So, yeah, but I mean, the interesting thing about our program is that it's written. We'll talk about decolonization. We'll talk about demilitarization. He would make the case for more militarization. We would make the case for demilitarization. We would make the case for democratization. But even, the only problem is that Museveni likes to continue hiding behind the democracy. But I think he has reached a point where even if he declared this a kingdom, he has bribed everybody, all the elites. They would be comfortably go along with it. I don't know why he just doesn't declare it so that Swaziland is a kingdom, Bahrain is a kingdom, and so he's running a kingdom in name, and I would urge him to do that, so that we don't have to live this lie that he's a constitutional executive. He's a constitutional monarch. Are you getting?
I hear you. And
yes, I'll tell him.
and
I'll tell him quite clearly. Declare yourself a king. Call it a kingdom. Subvert your own constitution and use your army to, maybe he knows the consequences of that. Maybe he knows the consequences. Does he? I would want to see. But that's it. Of course, dictator transformation. But I mean, I wouldn't be presenting my views as a person. I was making the case for them. But so we would go through the motions. In that regard. The other question you asked is what?
In case,
even if there was a new leader,
what would befall them with with the current cast that you showed, and probably if we don't
Justice
change.
Kanyehamba,
Yes.
my mentor, wrote in many books this very point. Kanyehamba dedicated his whole life to the two wheels of a chariot we've discussed, we've utilized for our conversation today. A collective vision for a new constitutional republic for Uganda. Kanyehamba was part of the Moshi Conference and was part of the early governments in 1979, the UNLF government, and so on. And he also dedicated himself to a value system, a new manual for policing and regulating politicians in Uganda, so that they do not solve their problems with the guns and the tribal, mob justice, but rather debate and compromise on a set of principles. So that's why he was the chairperson of the Legal and Drafting Committee, apparently, in the Constituent Assembly. Now, he was so convinced of this that he spent much of his time outside government. I mean, he was part of the local government, so when their government collapsed, he dedicated himself to the Musevenis, and he was like a propagandist for the rebels, making the case for, speaking of their bush as a human rights struggle. The way I see some people in NOP do it in the diaspora. So that's what he was doing. In hindsight, Aramika Yasukawa, he began to believe this, to believe that everybody in the NRA shared this value, in the NRM shared these values, that they had reduced into the 10-point program and so on and so forth. And of course, when he woke up from this betrayal, as many of them did, he was quite a very bitter man. On principle, he remained a fraternal comrade of the president, but on principle, he had documented his betrayal because he had discovered the question you're asking, that the same challenges had remained even under new leader. Are you getting me? In Kenya, they call it, after fighting Moi. Moi in Kenya, the Kenyan elites did not. They opposed the Kenyatta dictatorship, but not so seriously because the government was new and stuff. But with the Moi, after the coup of 82, they were far more mature, I guess, now. And so the whole resistance, I think, language, they call it the second liberation. The hopes of the independence liberation, I think, had worn off. Now they are saying we need a second liberation, and unfortunately Moi was the one who suffered the brunt of pro-democracy governing against pro-democracy forces for about more than 15 years almost, until he capitulates in 1982 to accept multi-party. So they fought largely over a party, multi-party. So he says, okay, then he survives that election, 97. But by 2002, he couldn't push further. As a wise professor of politics and leaves it. Yeah. What I gather from all this, and it worries me, is that
Yes, I hear you.
I have witnessed, I have been active. I was active during the 15 years of FDC as the first wave of, opposition within the constitutional framework of the 95 Constitution from 2005 to 2020 or 2021. I have also been active during the first term of the National Unity Platform and now their second term. And social media has been discussing, and I like the turn it took, discussing the 5 years of NUP in Parliament, because that's where NUP had some power in Parliament and in the local governments where NUP had leadership. And I don't know, I have sympathies for the colleagues in NUP, but they should encourage that conversation to go on, because it's not personal. It's not there to bring them down. Ugandans are inviting them into leading the process, a collective vision. Musevenism and Musevenists. But abantu baleke bakole ebyabwe. And it moved on. The person to punish her is Museveni. There's no way
As we,
to do where they ruled it.
mm, Council Semakadde, I seem to have lost you.
That our struggle is Anita must resign. That it's all Museveni run. Anita had no money that Museveni. Had I gone off?
Yeah, you're on, but I think we've got into the network drop zone. So as you're making your last remarks, I think we should try to conclude. Network has started dropping. Council, are you still there? Council Semakadde, are you with me? Council Semakadde, do you hear me? Principal D, show me a thumbs up if you are able to hear me at your end. Anybody, if you're hearing me, show me a thumbs up, because I think Council has just dropped again. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Principal D. Let me find Council Semakadde so that he makes the last. He finishes that comment, and then we can call it a night. Council Semakadde, I've just sent you another speakership tag. Hope you can accept it, and then you make that remark that you are making. But once again, I want to thank everybody that has been on this call, everybody that has attended the space. This is the May episode of the Insights Express series. Last month, we also had one with Counsel Isaac Ssemakadde on Judiciary Unplugged. And today we are having a legal cast on the state of our affairs, the position of the law amidst the governance of our country. I've seen people like Daudi Sendaula. Yes, thank you guys. I see you are able to hear me. Counsel Ssemakadde, I've set your speakership tag. Hope you can unmute it and you conclude with that point and we are so that we are able to get out of this place tonight. Counsel Ssemakadde, are you there? Let me just send you one more time a speakership tag so that we are able to get you as a speaker. Yes, Counsel Ssemakadde, I sent you a speakership tag. Hopefully you are able to unmute it and you become a speaker so that we wind up okay. Counsel Ssemakadde has dropped, but I think he's getting on. Counsel, are you there? Okay. I want to thank everybody that has attended this space. Unfortunately, our comment section somehow was blocked and we've been unable to process comments and feedback, but at least we had Semogere come in when I gave chance to the other people. They never asked for the mic, but yes, I will make sure next time that is settled and it's fine. Counsel Ssemakadde, you've returned. You have a speakership tag, I think, already with you. You can just open it and then you become a speaker. I've sent you another speakership tag. Counsel Isaac Ssemakadde, hope you are able to open it and you make your parting shots tonight. Actually, conclude that remark because you were answering the last question of what would befall the next leaders if we don't wake up from where we are or from the picture that you've painted for us tonight. Counsel Ssemakadde, are you there? Okay. Let me just make you a co-host, and probably this is when I will be able to get you. Colleagues, sorry about that. These are just technical glitches that sometimes tend to overwhelm us. Counsel Ssemakadde, I've sent you a co-host tag. Hope you get it and become a speaker. Counsel Isaac, are you back? Counsel Ssemakadde, I've given you a speakership tag. I don't want to end the space before you've made your parting shots, but it seems I can't get you here. I've sent you a speakership tag. Hope you can just accept it. I've sent you an invite as a co-host, Counsel Isaac. Just accept it and unmute yourself. It's that yellow button. Okay. Once again, I want to thank Timo here. I want to thank Wanyonyi Emma. I see Sanju Green. I see Daniel. People that started with us, the space, Godwin, Davis. I see Luwurwa. I see Timothy here. I see Ocean. I see Namara, Cole, Tim, Chosova, Joseph. Very many of you that have attended this space. Thank you very much for always taking a pleasure to attend the Insights Express series. This very episode of this May episode, which is the legal cast, Counsel Isaac Ssemakadde on the state of our affairs, will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, which we created. That this content, you can always revisit it and listen to it and also use it for research, so long as you credit where I picked it from as well. I want to thank everybody that has attended the space. Council ssemakadde, maybe just send me a request and then I give you an approval. Now, this very time, Principal D, I have accepted you as a speaker. Yeah, you can make your submission in 2 minutes time. Yes, Principal D, the floor is open to you.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Hear you loud and clear, Principal.
Yes, I've joined because I'm seeing council is not coming back, and yet we were still feeding from the knowledge. Council likes to bring an idea that majority of us keep overlooking. And the idea is that let the young learn what happened before we were here. Because what he tells you is that majority of us came up and started thinking that actually activism or opposing Museveni started by our generation, which was very wrong. That was 2017, 18, 19, 20, up to where we are. But after the previous elections, majority of us are having self-reflection. You sit and begin to think, how did we reach here? And that happens because usually you dismiss the ones that want to tell you what happened before you were here. Because not all of us get born to be activists. We are in very different fields that don't even need us to be making noise online. But there are things that will trigger you and you begin speaking. But when you begin speaking, you shouldn't begin thinking that you are the first, that what you're seeing wrong now has never happened. It has happened under this government. And so many people have been opposing this government. And you see others age out. I've personally heard Odong Auto saying he doesn't want to die before he's a minister. He has opposed this government. He has actually aged opposing this government. Now he's running around like a wild dog. Then you see the likes of Norbert Mao joining government. They have opposed this government for their entire life. So, and I think the only thing missing is we don't have genuine conversation between the people coming up and the ones that are now. You see, you always have. Then is that time where not so many things move you. There are activists that actually we grew up seeing, Dr. Stella Nyanzi. There's this lady, Nana Mwafrika. You see, some people don't know Nana Mwafrika right now, but she was very, very active. There's that group of FDC, the group of Nyanjura and what. So I think what we lack is conversation between the young and the old. Then the other issue is I also wanted to use this opportunity to pass an announcement that we have 3 people. Okay, we have so many people that are in prison that were put during this period of elections. There are very many. I will tell you that there are roughly 4,000 in Makshon Bay. The ones released, I don't think they reach 1,000 because you reach a point and you also get fatigued. But then there are people that are missing, and one is a celebrity, is a musician called King Zali. His real name is Godi Christopher. He was abducted using police vehicle, and the people who abducted him were putting on military uniform, UPDF, with guns, broad daylight, because he was with his friends. But it has been weeks. We have never seen him. The wife talks to me every day asking how far, where have you reached, what do we know? You understand those things. We have moved to court. I think we moved to court like 3 times. Court was supposed to give us a ruling about his habeas corpus. It has been days. The ruling has not come. And the judiciary is totally unmoved. A point and I'll be like, now, what can we do? And you see such matters, even when you want to push for it, they don't get the attention that they deserve, because I have a feeling the society has reached a point and normalized a lot of evils, normalized things that shouldn't be normal. Because if a musicians always have a lot of followers. I have been
As you
wondering
wind
if
up,
a celebrity can, yes, as I wind up, if a celebrity can be touched and such a matter doesn't go anywhere. We have another one, Paul Williams. He was abducted in February. We have never seen him. Court has never given us a date for his habeas corpus. We have this one called Geno Blue Tea. Court had ordered that today is Friday, that today government was to produce our body in court. There was nothing, nothing happened. So I have reached a point where I actually don't know where we are. And I suggest that people that have been in activism before us should always have conversations with us that, you see, this is not new. This happened and this is what we did. This is how we reacted. And then maybe we can together discuss how can we react differently to this one. Because you realize right now everyone is just waiting for when a bad thing reaches them. I think that is the state of the nation. We are all waiting for when we shall be eaten. Every institution has been taken. And now it is off institutions. It is now on individuals. As I wind up in 1 second, Counsel ssemakadde told you that he sometimes sympathizes with the Bobi Wine because he gave you his personal experience of his campaign. True that majority expected that he would be the one to bang the table for them, because that has become the norm. We believe that there are people who should fight for us. There are those who should fight for us. We are supposed to sit and watch, which is very unfortunate. So I call everyone that is here and those who may hear the space afterwards that you need to get involved, because we are all in this, whether you're in a bad situation now or not yet, but we are all in this. So I think we should all get involved. Thank you.
thank you very much, Principal D. I can't agree more with you. Councillor Isaac Ssemakadde, I sent you another yes. Grateful that you're back here. Let's now make those parting shots. Now that I have you, at least let's have those parting shots finally. About 2 minutes, and we get out of here. Thank you, Council. Over to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Council, you have the honors, please.
Unfortunately,
Wow, I don't know what has happened. You keep dropping.
it's terrible.
Yes,
It's terrible.
but now I hear you.
It's terrible.
But now we hear you. Council, are you able to speak? Well, he has dropped again. Let's give it one more shot and see. Council Ssemakadde, let's give it one more shot and then we see. Okay, I've just sent you another one. Are you able to speak? Council Ssemakadde, are you able to speak? I've sent you another speakership tag. Are you able to speak? Oh my God. It seems he can't get Council Ssemakadde here. Let me try and give him another one. And if it fails, I'll just invite the Vice President to just invite Anthony to take the last remarks on behalf of Senior Counsel. Good enough, he has been on space throughout, and he's been following the conversation of tonight. Counsel Isaac Ssemakadde, I sent you another speakership tag. I see a request here. I see a request here, and let me try and see. Unfortunately, I'm unable to. Counsel Isaac Ssemakadde, I sent you both as tag as a speaker and a co-host. So I don't know if you're able to join the space again. Let me just invite. I think we are unable to, but let me just invite Anthony. Anthony Nasimwe, who is of course an advocate and of course the Vice President of the Uganda Law Society, to just say something in about 2 minutes, and then we can get out of here. Anthony, could you please just accept that speakership tag, and you say something for the last 2 minutes on behalf of the President, because now it seems he's locked out and I can't get him. Counsel Isaac Ssemakadde, I've approved your request now as a speaker. You've requested, I've approved. Are you able to, have you been turned into a speaker? Not yet. I see you still have the listenership tag here. Okay. Meanwhile, let's see if by the time Anthony is done speaking, you'll be here. Yes, Counsel Anthony Nasimwe, the Vice President of the Uganda Law Society. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Katongole. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Like you said, I've been on call, but I've been on and off. But knowing my president here, I knew the space would be on until even morning, if the time allowed. So, I was dealing with a lot of other things, moving from one space also to this, and then trying to figure out a lot of other things. But what is for me really important is the fact that we have young minds like you who are really intentional in when it comes to opening the space and the discussion for our generation and the younger generation to discuss issues that really affect our very being, our livelihood, our day-to-day activities, and the fact that you involve the leadership of the Radical New Bar. We don't really take it for granted. I want to believe that whoever has been listening in, the president always has a lot of knowledge to share. You sometimes wonder where it all comes from, or when he manages to put all this together, the insights he shares, I believe, are beneficial to each and every one of us. And again, these are the realities which we're lucky to have individuals and people like him who are willing to share the realities of what we go through on a daily basis, the way it is. Because as you're aware, in this in the current military government, the military way of doing things is total disrespect of processes, the rule of law, the laid down procedures, constitutionalism, and we keep finding ourselves in situations where we're fighting to get out, and the person who is doing the right thing is viewed as either disrespectful or as someone who doesn't know what they are doing. And I want to believe we all know it's not by mistake that we have the approach we are using the approach we are using. Today I happened to briefly attend the 8th the Joan Kagezi Memorial Lecture, the eighth of its kind, and during the discussions, I was impressed by the nature of the questions being put across by the panelists, but I think the disappointment personally I got was the responses, the fact that people in those, offices and those positions gloss over some of these aspects. They don't want to talk about them because they're in a field and in the public eye, and they feel they don't want to annoy the powers that be. But I was particularly impressed by one judicial officer, one judge who was very emphatic, talking about prosecutorial discretion and access to justice, and much as he wasn't giving specific examples, he was very emphatic when it came to failure to respect due process, and I related that to the Okero Anyim trial. I wanted to believe he was really speaking to his bosses, the judiciary, and other institutions that bowed to the pressures and abused process, broke the law. The president telling you here about how the people who are supposed to protect the law, even the judges, break the law. And this specific judge spoke to the fact that it doesn't matter what the pressures are, whether it is pressure from the public, whether it's from any other area, we must follow due process for us to say that someone is delivering justice. You don't rush simply because you're under this pressure. The public wants to see a decision. The public wants to see, justice in their own meaning, their own understanding. But the moment you fail to follow due process, that is already injustice on its own. And I feel we're falling short of having such individuals, especially in public offices. I had them gloss over the issue of corruption by the prosecutors, by the judicial officers, speaking about it casually like it's it's a small thing. Yet we all know how this corruption scourges, greatly and negatively impacted the spaces, especially in the judicial processes, in criminal proceedings, bail applications, and other areas, especially when it comes to the judiciary, in the police, and all these institutions of government. And we had the IGG present, but I feel those spaces are provided probably to have these discussions, but even we never get meaningful discussions. They never get people who speak truth to power. We never get people who use those platforms to tell these people what they should hear, but rather those who say what they believe these people want to listen to, what these people want to hear. So clearly, I don't think I would really add much onto what the president has discussed as far as the state of our affairs are concerned. He's given a detailed account of where we are, giving you different angles and different aspects of how you can understand why certain things happen the way they do, and bringing in the aspects of why, as the leadership of the lawyers, the governing council, why we sometimes choose to communicate the way we do, and why we approach these issues the way we do, because clearly you realize that as lawyers we're the last line of defense in a nation, in a country where even the judiciary, which should be the last line of defense for the common person, where everyone should run to seeking protection, is clearly under capture. where where they've demonstrated lack of independence, where they've demonstrated through the leadership of the institution itself that they are working on the whims of the executive, on directives, on instructions, but not doing what is expected of them. What do you expect the rest of the the citizens to go? What do you expect them to do? So I remember at the beginning or sometime last year when we had intensified such spaces, such discussions, the president was also clear on the intention of dealing with what we call information asymmetry, because I heard him talk of the historical backgrounds of the politics of the country, the constitutionalism, the changes that we've gone through, the transitions that we've gone through. It's because some of us, especially people in this of our generation and the bigger group here, lack the knowledge, the information of what has happened in the past, which is really important in assisting you or guiding you to formulate opinions or to make decisions on what you can do, what contributions you can make. And we end up seeing some of these things as, others are new. But again, history has taught us that there are certain things that keep happening and keep repeating themselves. Some of these things are not happening for the first time, but we tend to forget that there are people have gone through this and probably can borrow a leaf and also, use the different approaches depending on the situation. Now, really, for me, it is to thank you for organizing this space, for giving this platform to the members here and to us as the leadership to speak to the people, to speak to the members of the public who are willing to listen, who have this thirst for learning or getting to know where we stand, especially when it comes to areas of administration of justice and governance, because we keep lying to ourselves that governance should be left for politicians, which is wrong. Because we all have a stake, we all have a role to play. And when things go south, when things go bad and it's during your time, what really matters is what role you play as an individual. It's what you will be judged against in future. But we tend to imagine that we should all sit back and watch and leave this war for some people. I mean, we're having this space thanks to our digital transformation agenda. The president is not in the country. He can't be here, he's in exile, but he's still able to, share with us, speak to us, those of us who are here in Uganda. And some people have actually normalized this. It's they're making it look like it's normal that the president of the bar, or the National Bar Association, is living in exile, and it's fine, it's normal, it's okay. And there are people who have power to change this, but probably they're enjoying it, or probably they tend to ignore the fact that it's embarrassing for anyone to hear this. And even our other senior members of the bar probably are not even bothered about it. But these things keep happening, they keep coming. And it reminds me of what we usually say. Sometimes when something is happening and it's not happening to you, you imagine it's really very far from you until it knocks at your door, until it gets to you personally, especially these aspects of abuse for rule of law. And we really should all step up and do better than we're doing. We need to, each and every one of us has a contribution to make in as far as ensuring that we have better governance, we have, a better environment for rule of law in this country. So I thank you once again. I'm sure, I don't know how much time you had scheduled for the space. Like I said before, I know with our president, the space can go on and even, up to the next day, not leaving the venue. That's what we call it, because there are other people joining, those who are interested in learning. Also allow me in a special recognize one of, I see our council member, Mr. Edin Angulu online, who represents the Eastern Bar of the Uganda Law Society. And earlier had seen other members of council who probably have dropped off. I think it's also really a privilege that you're able to have such an engagement where you have some of these colleagues to join in and listen and probably answer some questions. That shows how much committed our leadership is in concerning these matters of governance, rule of law, and access to justice in the country. So for me, really, I'll just pass that vote of thanks to the organizers of this space, as well as our president, senior counsel Isaac Chimaze Ssemakadde, for always being open to these engagements and for valuing this. You may not know, just earlier today, while having a discussion with the president, had suggested to him a meeting at the same time, but he says, no, VP, I have this very important space. We cannot have that meeting. We can postpone that meeting because this space is very important, and I can't miss it. I can't put anything else. So that's how much he values you people. That's how much he values these spaces, these discussions, and it's not something that we intend to stop. We've agreed at council level that we give these platforms more attention, and thanks to his leadership, he's leading by example. So I thank you, and President, on behalf of all the participants, people who are listening in, and organizers, I would like to extend sincere appreciation and gratitude to you for always sparing time, not just for today, but for always sparing time and putting in the work, the energy, and giving the people, giving us people in these spaces, especially the younger generation, what probably they would never have gotten from any other place. So thank you very much. Over to you, Katongole.
Very intriguing, and we want to also thank you, the Vice President of the Uganda Law Society, Anthony Asimwe, also an advocate of the court, a lecturer at the LDC. I met at very many young lawyers. A man we've seen fill the shoes of a president when in exile, and this is what they call the rerun mate. Indeed, we appreciate you, and we acknowledge you here at the Inside Express series for the work you do, and the team at the Uganda Law Society now, because you at the ground running operations on behalf of the president. Of course, he's also on the other side trying to run things here and there. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We can't appreciate you enough, but we are always privileged that when we invite you, you are able to come and speak to us regarding matters of the law, regarding matters of this nation, because it's very hard to separate the law and, the governance and the nation. That's why we have what we call the rule of law doctrine. It's not from atmosphere or where, but it's governance and the law. The relationship is very symbiotic. So we try very hard to see that whenever we reach out, you people respond and come to calls like this. We thank you very much, both of you, Mr. President, Senior Counsel Isaac Ssemakadde, and then Vice President Adon Asimwe. Asante sana. Thank you very much. I see, unfortunately, we are unable to continue with the space, but I see Tony here, the managing partner at Diamond Advocates, is also here. The Vice President sent shout outs to Eddie Nangal, who's the Uganda Law Society rep, the other part of the country. Well done, gentlemen. Well done, well done. We can't thank you enough. Thank you very much, Mr. Isaac Ssemakadde, for honoring the invitations, and then we've had the sacrifices that you take to be here. We don't take you for granted. This space started at 7:30 and it is 15 minutes to 11:30 p.m. East African Standard Time. My name is Katongole Arnold Anderson, the host of the Insights Express series and also producer of the Hard Questions show with the African Institute for Investigative Journalism. This has been the May episode of the Insights Express series. The legal cast, Counsel Isaac Ssemakadde, on the state of our affairs. Maybe to walk away from here, I will just quote that we can't achieve in vain. We must wake up and put the efforts if we need to achieve the governance we need, the democracy we need, echoing from Principal D and the President himself. But also to quote Counsel David Mbanga when he said, unless we develop a nervous system that feels each other's pain, we will never see the Uganda we want to see. And finally, from Martin Luther King, that at the end of the day, the words of our enemies will not hurt us or will not matter, but the silence of our friends. This country belongs to me and you and everybody. Even after us, there will be a generation. But then, what can we do in our time? My name is Katongole Arnold Anderson. Good evening.